Hey there, Russ here. Welcome back to the shop. Okay, first thing, you know who bought me some new t-shirts, but she's only giving them to me one at a time. So I thought it's the first one. Thought I'd share it with you. They're all humorous sayings, she says, and that I'll really love them. So here's the first one. Sawdust is man glitter. I like it. So anyway, stay tuned. There's going to be more of these, and I'll show them to you as I start getting them from her. So much for the t-shirt. Now, since we're rambling here, the other thing I want to ramble about is about some additional channels and that sort of thing. First off, I found this channel. It's called I Simply Built It. It's a great little channel, and I have to tell you, this dude has some really awesome projects that are shop oriented. You got to check him out. If you like my channel, if you like to apply woodworking, you'll like his channel too. I would guarantee it. So check it out and see what you think. And if you happen to comment to him, you can tell him where you heard it from me if you want. That's up to you. You don't have to. But if you liked it, let me know, so I know that I should continue letting you know as I find these great channels out there, because they always seem to come up still. I've got almost 600 channels I'm subscribed to now. So I don't watch them all every week or when they put out, but some of them I watch every time. Some of them, but they all really have a lot of learning to them. And this is one of those channels that I'm going back through all his past videos, because there's so much in there. Just like with mine, I get so many people that once they find my channel, they start going through all my past videos and learn some other things. That's what you'll find here. A lot of good stuff. So check it out. The next thing I want to talk about real quick is my laser markers. If you remember, I showed you here a couple episodes ago where I bought those little battery boxes and the lasers. I got this one is a single line laser, and I also bought a crosshair laser, and the battery box comes with a switch on it. So I soldered this wire up, and then I taped it all up, and now I put this switch on, and the switch on there, I colored it so that when it's in the off position, you can see there's two dots. But if I want to turn it on, now it's on, and ooh, I hope I didn't blind you. But anyway, it looks like just one dot now, and then when it's off, so I can easily look at the switch and tell whether it's on and off. So I had to do that in order to use it. But what I'm planning on is Ply Woodworking did a video, one of his past videos, where he mounted something like this directly on his miter saw. And if you remember when I did mine, I mounted one right on my small parts cutting table that I did a video on. And it works. As long as I'm staying at 90 degrees and I'm using that top. But in all reality, the way Ply Woodworking did his, he put it behind the blade, mounted it right up under there in such a way, and this is something I had thought about doing, but I couldn't figure out how to get it up under there and get it mounted. Well, after watching him, I've decided, yeah, I can do this. So I am now going to get this thing mounted under there. When I do, I'll let you check it out and see how it works. But this will be directly behind the blade, shining outward. So whenever I put anything under there, I'll be able to see my cut line easily. And the beauty of it is that when you mount it there, it doesn't matter whether I tip that blade or I turn that blade one way or the other on the angle. Whatever that cut is, this laser will line up to it then, which is the beauty of doing it that way. So I'm looking forward to having a laser on there the way it should be, so that you always can use it if you want to use the cut line. I can turn it on, use it, and turn it off when I'm done. So stay tuned. Once I get this going, I'll go over some of the hints and how I did mine, so that if you decide you want to put something like this on yours, I probably got $6 wrapped up here, not counting the batteries. So, and with AAA batteries instead of those little watch batteries, these ought to last quite a bit longer too. So, we're going to see how that works, and I'll let you know and keep you abreast of it. So, if you have any questions, or if you do something like this, leave it in the comments, let me know about it. So, the last thing I'm going to talk about, and this is probably the most important thing I'm rambling about, is Coppa. It's a big talk on YouTube right now, COPPA, and it has to do with the government agency. That was an acronym for their agency name, and I can't remember it. But if you go out, I've been doing a lot of research on Coppa. Old Block's workshop is the one that first turned me on to the terminology and what it was about when I watched his, and he really took me by surprise, because he's actually afraid of what Coppa is about. And he is actually thinking about bringing his channel down and deleting all his videos. He has over 1,500 of them. It's an awesome channel if you want to learn some things. It's just, there's so much wealth of knowledge there. It's going to be a shame to lose him, but he might do that because of Coppa. So I, at the other hand, after looking at a lot of different things about Coppa and try to figure out what's really going on here, I kind of got the feeling that Coppa is actually a good thing. And let me explain to you what I think I'm seeing with Coppa. And if I'm wrong, we'll know shortly, and we'll adjust what we're thinking at that point. But the biggest problem with Coppa, what it's doing is it's targeting those places on the internet. And right now they're starting with YouTube, but these rulings will apply to all the multimedia out there that's out there. And it's geared toward protecting children. And to me, that's really very important, because right now, the internet's the Wild West, especially when it comes to children. Collecting data, it's a no-no. And anybody who's doing it, they should be in serious trouble. But also, the content that you put out is kind of important of what you're doing and telling and showing young children. They want to get a handle on it in the government. And I understand why they do. And that's why they created Coppa, whatever it is. It's so that they can immediately, they told YouTube, these people can't make money on YouTube anymore doing this. Take the money incentive away unless it's heavily regulated. And quite honestly, why not? I don't have a problem with that. And I think that that's what Coppa is really going to be doing here, because there's going to be those channels that are geared toward children, but they won't admit it, or maybe they don't even realize that's what they're really doing. I don't know. But this is going to make sure that they fall under a regulation and follow the rules of protecting these children. And that's all there is to it. YouTube is not the Wild West when it comes to our little children. And if they're going to try to target these children to teach them things that we don't want them to know, or to sell them things we don't want them to buy, or even think about having to buy, they're very susceptible to that sort of thing, and they're an easy audience to cater to and make rewards, financial rewards from it, or heaven knows whatever kind of rewards they might want. This is going to help regulate that sort of thing. So I think Coppa should be given a chance to work. My channel, there's no way you could make a leap of faith and say, yeah, you're targeting children. Now, if I do a particular channel that might be construed as targeting a child, just tell me. I'll take it down. I'll redo it, whatever it takes, because I don't have a problem with not targeting children. That's not what this channel is about. And I honestly am optimistic that that's not what the government's doing. They're not trying to control all of us, and they're not trying to just rake in as much money as they can by fining everybody in the world for any flimsy reason they can. I think they truly are trying to get a handle on protecting children. And I think we should help them do that without any problem. So I'm not going to run away. I'm going to comply to what I think they want. If there's an issue with that, we'll approach that. So it is possible that the government does really want to just fine everybody and shut down YouTube completely, in which case they'll start coming after little fish like me, because I'm just a little fish in a big pond. There's a lot of sharks out there that's who they're looking for. And so I don't believe that I will ever have a problem with Coppa. But I don't know until we get into this process. And I'll adjust accordingly. But honestly, I believe we should give Coppa the benefit of a doubt that they're here to protect children, not to try to fine every single person in America $40,000 to collect some revenue for the government. I just don't believe that's what they're doing. They're kind of clumsy about it, the way they do it. I don't really agree with this method of either you can't put out video, you make no money on it or anything. What I think they should do is try to approach this in the same way that you would approach movies at the theater. And that is, they should give it a parental restriction idea. In other words, they should rate these videos from G for general down to whatever. YouTube has no rating like that at all. about on content. And I think that's what the government really is trying to do here, is get some kind of rating system going eventually. But like always, government's not very good at that sort of thing. So we have to maybe help guide them into that too, which is what we can. I think that as people that participate in YouTube, we can do that if we speak in a loud and singular voice, loud enough. And so that's what I'm hoping to see. And I think that's what they're really trying to do here. So let's give it a try. I'm going to give it a try to see if that's what they do. If they go after my channel for children content, and you guys pretty much know my channel, there's no way I am catered toward any kind of children or trying to. And I know I'm not the only one that way. If they tried to go after myself or Sneedlock, and I'm not talking about YouTube and their algorithms, we already know how well those things work. So we're going to be fighting that no matter what. But I think that that's just monetary stuff. That's not just to shut you down just to try to get more money. They want your videos out there. So they are going to, they're not the real problem. As long as the government doesn't come after channels like myself or Old Sneedlock's channel, I have no problem. If they do, then we'll have to take a different approach, and I would be the first one to step up. But let's give them a chance, because I do believe we should be protecting our children. That should be one of our highest priority in the internet at this point, because it's the Wild West out there, people, if you hadn't noticed. And there is no regulations, and sometimes that's pretty scary. So let's help it. Let's make suggestions. If there's a way that we can find a way to communicate to certain places and petitions that are out there that help them to arrive at that, I'm all for it. So, but I do think a rating system would be better than just saying turn that switch on and off. But we'll have to see, because again, this is just the beginning of it, and I think the ultimate goal of children protection is worth us going through this together. So, leave your thoughts, any comments. If you're a provider, a creator of video, I'd love to hear your input. But even if you're not, I'd really like to hear what you think as a consumer of what your thoughts would be about Coppa. Go out and research it. Look at all the different videos that you can find about it. It's out there. That's what I did. Try to get as much information about what's going on here, and see if you don't see some of the things that I think I'm seeing with this situation. And I may be wrong. I'd love to hear it if I am, and I'm willing to discuss it, and I think we should. So let me know what you think about Coppa, and whether or not you think that we can eventually arrive at a good place and using that to help us get there. So comments, you know where to leave them. If you have any suggestions, that's where you would leave them. If you like these channels, let me know that I did the right thing there. So all in all, if you like this channel, or you learned something here, or you think you're learning things as you go along, hit that like button. It lets me know that I'm doing the right things. Most importantly, though, please come back again, because I'm nowhere near done, and hopefully Coppa doesn't think so either. So thanks, and we'll see you again very soon. Bye.